Welcome to NASSCOM Conversations. I'm your host, Govindraj Ethiraj, and today we are diving deep into India's cybersecurity landscape with Vinayak Godse, the CEO of the Data Security Council of India.
91% of Indian organizations experienced ransomware attacks in 2023.
Predominantly to cooperative and regional rural banks has been potentially compromised by a ransomware attack.
The healthcare industry in India has faced 1.9 million cyber attacks this year.
During G20, in 1 minute, on the G20 website, on the day of the summit, we had around 16 lakh attacks coming. During the summit, when the summit was going on, they were trying a DDoS attack, distributed denial of service attack. So a lot of thinking was going so that the website goes down.
This is NASSCOM Conversations, hosted by Govindraj Ethiraj.
As India rapidly digitizes, the nation faces both unique challenges and immense opportunities when it comes to cybersecurity. India's cybersecurity infrastructure is evolving, and with it, so are the growing threats organizations face. And as India positions itself as a global leader in cybersecurity, what role does an entity like the Data Security Council of India, or DSCI, play? With India's digital economy growing so quickly, how does DSCI contribute to shaping the nation's cybersecurity strategy?
Data Security Council of India was started in 2008 as a think tank and industry body for cybersecurity in the country, but started as an independent company. NASSCOM thought this as a specific effort, requires specific attention, and set up as an independent company. So one hand, we work with government, right? So under all the policy matter, national cybersecurity initiatives, all the effort that government of India puts, some part of that they definitely invented at the Security Council of India. When we contribute to national cybersecurity strategy, we engage with this national cybersecurity machinery, as we can say, different institutions, different bodies, different functions of government of India engage in a national cybersecurity effort. So we work closely with them, and we also contribute to some of the effort that they put together. On the other side, we work with industry. So DSCI as NASSCOM has also membership ecosystem. So we engage with largely through NASSCOM, we work with technology company, but directly we engage with the user industry of a country, all BFSI sector, manufacturing companies, oil energy, power sector, airport infrastructures, health sector organizations. So those who are user of technology largely, until now we have been talking about them. So we engage with them and we guide them on their strategy for security and privacy, and that also exposes us to understand how security works in those. And we also engage with the startup ecosystem, which are building capabilities in cybersecurity space.
It's clear that DSCI has a dual role. One, to collaborate with the government, and two, to guide industry across sectors from manufacturing to healthcare. Now, this is crucial, especially given the rise in cyber threats and attacks. In 2020, for example, a ransomware attack targeted the Maharashtra State Electricity Distribution Company, leading to disruptions in their operations. In 2022 alone, over 1.3 million cybersecurity incidents were reported in India. With such a surge in cyber attacks, organizations have to and have had to adapt, and boardrooms are now focused on this.
Some of the breaches and some of the attacks which happened in the recent past has really elevated the discussion of security to the level where now most of the regulators ask board members to be very responsible and accountable for cybersecurity. So that's the one significant thing. But other side, if you look at the digitization and technology adoption that we all have been doing and the acceleration that we are seeing, especially after COVID, and then more importantly because of the push the government of India and other parts of the globe as well, as for digitization, right? So the volume and velocity at which things are getting developed and deployed, the kind of devices that are connected to network, every production service is becoming more data-centric now, and everybody's talking about digitization. And eventually then we are exposing ourselves that the footprint is getting increasingly exposed to a lot of this threat landscape that we look at. So now suddenly the affairs of managing and governing security is becoming very intense affairs in the organization, basically. And we always look at advancement, volume, velocity, complexity, diversity, and heterogeneity in terms of managing and governing cybersecurity.
With digitalization accelerating, managing cybersecurity has become obviously more complex. India's digital economy is projected to reach $1 trillion by 2028. And that brings obviously both growth, opportunities, and risks. So, what challenges do organizations face in adapting their cybersecurity strategies to keep pace with this rapid digital transformation? Vinayak says the ecosystem is putting up its guard.
We usually believe energy company, power sector organization, manufacturing. So they are largely they create value ecosystem, right? They may not be processing transaction, but they create an economic value, right? So transaction processing industry, because inherently they have regulator, right? RBI, SEBI, for that matter, or IRDA. So the regulatory ecosystem, especially RBI, has really taken cybersecurity on the agenda. That's why we see a lot of maturity in those sectors, and other financial sector like capital sector or insurance sector is also catching up because of the regulatory ecosystem. But the critical sector, government of India put a lot of effort, and that's why we see the economic value creating organization, especially energy, power sector, are getting definitely much better. But nowadays we see manufacturing companies, we see other sectors of industry, because they have been digitizing quite aggressively, and recently we have seen manufacturing company targeted by ransomware. So we see a lot of now awakening to cybersecurity in these sectors as well.
So, as sectors continue to digitize, and we can see that every day, and face targeted attacks like ransomware, which we may not see every day, at least in public domain, there is a growing awareness of the importance of cybersecurity, no doubt. The recent spike in attacks, where India ranked amongst the top 10 countries globally affected, underscored the need for robust defenses. However, with increased digitization and targeted attacks like ransomware, there seems to be a growing awakening to cybersecurity. Vinayak says tactics of cybercriminals have evolved, especially in the ransomware ecosystem, where attacks are more organized and attackers smarter and strategic in targeting companies with strong market positions and financial resources.
The ransomware ecosystem is now so advanced and so organized. Those companies which has probably better market valuation, good cash flow, so they also do those kind of analysis, and based on that they will select target, and that is leading to such kind of issues and problems.
With the rise of sophisticated cyber attacks, companies are adopting various strategies to defend themselves, including investing in cyber insurance and specialized recovery services. This marks a significant shift in how organizations prepare for and respond to cyber incidents. The Indian cyber insurance market, currently worth around $200 million, is expected to grow at a compounded annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 27% in the next 3 to 5 years. One example of this trend is Bajaj Allianz, which recently launched a specialized cyber insurance product to help businesses recover from cyber attacks. How is DSCI helping organizations prepare for such incidents?
This bootcamp that we organize is to throw situation and collectively try to find different ways and paths, and can you find systematic way of either recovery or rebuild, basically, right? So preparing like this and creating kind of playbook for people to run and play so that they are prepared well for such kind of eventuality is the basic idea of this training program that we have. This is at an enterprise level dilemma. At an aggregate level, if you look at, there is certainly some of the area where we are seeing the discussion that all of the companies in a sector is on such one platform. Then if something happened, then the sector will completely go down. So there is at aggregate level, cross-organizational, cross-sector, at a national level, there will be some resiliency discussions as well. So there is a resiliency, we are revisiting discussion of resiliency in response at an enterprise level, but it is also happening at aggregate at a national level as well.
These training programs are not just about immediate response, they're also about building resilience at both the enterprise and national levels. So the National Cybersecurity Policy of India, first introduced in 2013 and currently undergoing an update, emphasizes the need for a resilient and robust cyber infrastructure. Recent incidents like the coordinated ransom attacks on healthcare facilities and the banking sector in 2023 have highlighted the urgency for improved cybersecurity measures across sectors. The government's 2024 budget reflects this urgency, with significant increases in funding for cybersecurity and artificial intelligence initiatives aimed at enhancing national cyber defenses. The budget significantly increased funding for cybersecurity and AI projects, allocating about 1,550 crore rupees for strengthening cybersecurity infrastructure and 551 crore rupees specifically for the India AI mission.
because of the AI capability, doing recon is easy. Knowing your footprint, how you're exposed is easy. Anybody can do it. Second, because of the AI basic, they check against each other that how good they are to code, right? Coding is developing payload in our language, right? So you can quickly set up some malware, you can code it, and developing payload is an important thing. Execution is also one of the important things. So that barometers come down. Cyber crime perspective, so they would know now. They can find these contexts and they can mix it together and they can find what is modus operandi I should target a particular user, basically, right? And that's why we see criminals using AI quite extensively, right? And in this big problem is that they are not constrained to use it. Whereas enterprise, if you come to, we have so many ifs and buts to use AI, right? And we are still figuring out how to adopt AI better in the organization ecosystem, right? The positive side is in security paradigm, we struggle to explain the security better. We struggle to summarize it better to help board and executive management understand. We struggle to immediately deep down and decompose understanding. So now AI is making that possible. So it makes security more accessible. You can ask questions for that matter. You can give answer. It can summarize it better. It can help you understand your security exposure better, basically, right? It can give reason why a particular things, because that reasoning is a big percentage of LLM ecosystem, right? And eventually that they say that because security operations are very complex job, very complex and operationally heavy, right? And so many things, we say orchestration. And that's what we teach in our ransomware responder course. How do we think about all those possibilities to recover from things, right? So then all of these possible things you need to do, you have to do in the shortest possible time. And AI can really help you in that. That's why automation, AI can significantly lay down its capabilities to automating a lot of tasks that you need to do in cybersecurity. In fact, complex, one of the key things that people talk about, henceforth AI will be helping you to achieve the complex goal. And security management and governance is very complex goal. So we believe the upcoming AI that we are talking about would help us manage and govern security much better.
India has seen a rise in cyber attacks, as we've been discussing, that leverage now AI technologies to bypass traditional cybersecurity measures and defenses. For example, AI has been used to automate phishing attacks, making them more personalized and harder to detect. Recent trends show that more than 50% of malicious files in India are delivered through web-based channels where AI algorithms are used to optimize the delivery method, making them more stealthy and efficient. So as India continues to invest in AI and machine learning, these technologies are expected to play a central role in the future of cybersecurity.
A lot of global companies are moving their security operations services engineering to India because of the skill that we have. And because of our people work on those technology companies, so many of them came and they started this technology company. So we almost 400 plus security technology companies and thousands of services company as well. Like one, certainly we have a threat intel team of the ACI. So they continuously watch what is happening. They also talk to all these members. They learn from them, and we try to see what kind of vulnerabilities. They daily almost 62 vulnerabilities. So many new threats comes in. So that's certainly one area of my attention. I need to give my attention to that. Second is what kind of capabilities are existing. The sectoral understanding and development also is definitely one of my key attention area every day. Policy, because sometimes some policy reactions could be knee-jerk. Another part is the skills, because there are a lot of support that we have for the global organization which are moving their operation here. One of the worries, we need to keep producing those skills, not only for domestic requirement, for other global possibilities as well. One of the key asks is the budget available to the companies to invest in cybersecurity, right? And this is for all the private sector organizations. So they empower security, because sometimes we see other part of the globe and sometimes we see that level of budget is not there, and then that constrains the cybersecurity market in India and also building a possibility, right? That's one side of story from the private sector and overall industry sector, right? From the government sector, we also believe that government needs to invest a lot in preparing better, responding better, and government department needs to be spending on cybersecurity, because government in other geographies, especially in US, we see that government is a big contributor to the development of the ecosystem, cybersecurity ecosystem. So that's a definitely key second critical ask. The research and innovation ecosystem, my key ask is the research sometimes and most of times leads to papers and prototypes. Some geography like Israel and US, we see the research get into product and commercialization phase. So that is one of the critical asks that I would like to see the many of the research turning into good enterprise product. If I see the deep tech security startup ecosystem, investment, both early stage and lateral stage is still a challenge in India. Deep tech is problem, and deep tech cybersecurity is more challenging. So creating that investment ecosystem is important thing. And then some effort on a skill building as well. So getting more engineering capabilities in cybersecurity, because all of those engineers are getting attracted to all this AI business problem, but we want them to see solving security problems. So that is an area definitely I would like.
And finally, it's clear that while India is making great strides in cybersecurity, there are still hurdles to overcome, particularly in fostering innovation and turning research into practical solutions. But with continued investment and strong talent pool, something that India has a good, deep strength in, the country is well positioned to become a global leader in cybersecurity.
You've been listening to NASSCOM Conversations hosted by Govindraj Ethiraj. This is a joint production between NASSCOM and The Core. Do subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app. We're available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and all the major podcast apps. If you have any feedback, you can write to us at feedback@thecore.in. Thank you for listening.